Hello, welcome to another amazing episode of Cooking with Heather. Today we're going to be baking, we're going to be making super special brownies with amazing, wonderful stuff in them. I've got a basic brownie recipe here. And I've got no salt, but we'll be using butter in place of salt. So, let's get started. I've got a basic brownie recipe that I found on the internet, and recipes aren't a bad thing. Everybody uses recipes to cook, even the best of chefs. So let's just have a look at what we have to do. Let's preheat the oven to 350. Let's turn the light on so we can see what we're doing. The oil and the sugar. And I went shopping today just for this occasion. So we need half a cup of vegetable oil. I don't think it matters what kind of cup you use as long as you use a cup. So we're going to do this. We're going to open this. And forgive my small kitchen. This is what I've got. So half a cup. That's probably about half a cup right there. All right, we're going to pour it in. And you know, for some who have endless kitchen supplies and endless kitchen space, mixing dry and wet ingredients in separate bowls is great. But if you've got limited kitchen space and limited kitchen supplies, you can do it any way you like. All right, so the sugar. A cup of sugar, but we're going to use different cups for the different ingredients simply because I've got enough cups, but we're just going to do it in one bowl. If you don't like it, well, you can. There's always the stop button. You don't have to watch the rest. But you have to use what you have. You can't just go broke being a chef. There's about a cup. Honestly, you know, people have been begging me to do a cooking video in my new house. And I made a promo video and people went ballistic over it. Mix the oil and the sugar. That's what we're going to do. I don't have any of that fancy mixer, so we don't have to do it all by hand, and that's well blended right there. That looks so nice. Alright, eggs and vanilla. What you want to do for your eggs, set that over there. What you want to do for your eggs is crack them into a cup so you don't get shells in the food. How many eggs? 2 eggs. That's all the eggs. This isn't going to be very big simply because I've got limited kitchen space. And what we'll do right now is we'll blend everything in. Make sure it's all comfortable. Now you can make the recipe as big as you want, but if you're just one person and you've got limited kitchen space, just, you know, make the most of your space, make the most of what you've got. Oh, there. So we'll just rinse our hands off because we played with eggs. And then the vanilla. How much vanilla? A teaspoon of vanilla. And look at all these cute little measuring spoons I've got. Where's the teaspoon? Here's a teaspoon, and here's some amazing vanilla right here. To open it. You know, most vanillas have like styrofoam protection on them, and that's so annoying. We'll do that. Set that in the sink in case we need it later, which we probably will. Alright. Now, and then we just add the rest. So, we've done vegetable oil. We'll put the cups over here. We've done the sugar, we've done the vanilla, we've done the eggs. Baking powder is next. Look at this cheap little nifty set of baking powder. And because we've got limited kitchen space, when we're done using an ingredient, it goes in the fridge. And you know, there's nothing wrong with using a recipe for the basics, but if you want to spruce it up, you go right ahead. Alright, so a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. See, I told you we'd need these again. 1/4 teaspoon somewhere. There's a 1/4 teaspoon. We add it. We set this in the sink. We set this aside because we do have limited kitchen space. And we have to make the most of limited kitchen space. A 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. And yes, cocoa powder makes it brown. So a 1/3 of a cup. There we go. And you know what? Cooking with Heather is like a fun thing because each time I just cook for you guys, I have different amounts of kitchen space. And sometimes the cocoa can be a little stubborn, so use a spoon. And never forget to clean up after yourself when you're done in the kitchen. A little more than that. I'm not sure what I'll do with the brownies. Maybe I'll give them to people. I don't know. And you put that in. Might have to shake the cup for the stubbornness of the cocoa. A 1/4 teaspoon salt. As I said, we don't have salt, but we're going to use butter because there's salt in butter. And it's not very much, so I don't think it'll hurt it, but when you have the money for everything, and when you have all your ingredients, be sure to follow the recipe, but when you don't have all the ingredients, improvise as best you can. And hopefully it won't turn out to be a disaster. So we're going to do that. There we go. Oh, looks like we'll need that darn spoon again. It's being stubborn. Use the handle of a smaller spoon to get that out. There we go. Okay, and as before, we've got to put our ingredients back in the fridge because we do have limited kitchen space. We seriously do. I love my kitchen, but it's very small. Alright, so half a cup of flour. I'll just put everything away. really fast because I really don't have a lot of kitchen space, and we're going to be doing more things with the brownies in a minute. So 1/2 cup of flour. Be very careful when you open this flour, please. So it doesn't get all over the floor. And then you want to be very, very gentle. You want to go in. There's about 1/2 cup right there. And when you're done, you definitely want to put this away. Otherwise it makes such an ugly mess, which we'll have to clean up later off camera. All right, now comes the fun part. We're gonna put all of our all of our big ingredients away wherever we can find room, and we're gonna get to the fun part. We're definitely gonna get to the fun part of this. The adding of the special ingredients. And forgive me, there's always a mess when it comes to baking, so whatever. We're gonna mix this all up. Can you see okay? We're gonna mix this all up into a nice brownie batter. And again, we have to do this by hand because I'm not wealthy enough to have a mixer. Well, I kind of have the money, but it's just, mixers are messy in a small kitchen, so we do it by hand. And we've got to be sure to scrape off the sides so we don't waste, because, you know, baking actually costs a lot of money. So we don't want to waste food. Food in general costs a lot of money. And so whatever we use, we need to be careful about it. We need to be careful with it and treat it with respect, as well as our equipment. Look at that. Look at that. Yummy. All right. And then I've got the basic recipe on my phone. We're going to add some lovely little additions. We're going to add some strawberries. Because, I mean, I know that strawberry brownies aren't the normal, but I've never done anything normal. We're going to use a cool little Dutch knife, which my parents gave me. We're going to rinse the strawberry. I mean, you can dry it if you want, but it's going to dry in the oven anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And you can use the whole strawberry if you want. Who cares if the leaves are in there? They add a lot of flavor. Can you see all right? And bad me, we should have probably used a cutting board. But we've got one, it's right here. Gonna rinse some strawberries. And they were very cheap. They were like $1.87 today at the Walmart, so I decided to get them and add them. You can add as many as you want. Probably add a few more. You know, cooking is an art and a science. It's a science so that you have to know basic math or how to read measurements on cooking tools, and it's an art in that you can get creative as you feel safe enough doing. I'd say one more. We don't want to overwhelm the mixture. There we go, that's enough. We'll put everything in the sink. Again, limited kitchen space, and we'll rinse our hands off because we're blending fruit. And again, because of the limited kitchen space, we'll put everything in the fridge. And we'll do a counter wet because we're not quite done. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And we're also going to add some yummy M&Ms. Just need to get my hands dry because it's impossible to open them with wet hands. And if it doesn't want to open, there we go. We'll only use one bag. I've got two here, but I want to eat one. And besides, they're big, so they'll just be amazing brownies when they're done. Hopefully they'll turn out. And we've got some butterscotch chips here that we're going to add. We're just going to make these amazing, yummy, happy brownies. Since we've been stuffing things in the garbage, we need to wash our hands. We are going to add some cranberries. I might as well add them all. It's going to be amazing, hopefully, when it's done. And we're going to add some Reese chips. It's probably enough. We've just got this amazing mixture. Look at this amazing mixture. Why don't Look at this amazing mixture. So that's alright. Now we're gonna grease our pan. With butter because I don't like using anything else. I don't like using lard. It's fattening. And again, limited supplies, limited kitchen space. You have to use what's around. So we'll just take some. Grease our pan so that the brownies don't stick. We'll wash that later. We'll put this away. Limited kitchen space. I mean, you honestly have to enjoy doing this or don't do it at all. It's just pouring so easily into the pan. My gosh. It's beautiful. We get to spread this out evenly. That looks good. Do you want to see the mixture? All right, I'll show you the mixture. Look at that. Look at that. That's beauty right there. All right, now we're going to put it in the oven. It's been preheated, remember, so it's easier. So, about 20 minutes. So hopefully these will turn out. I'll see you when they come out. Until then, see you. Hello, I'm back. It is time to get the brownies out and hope they turn out okay. They probably need to cool for a bit on the stove, but that's all right. We'll get to see what became of them anyway. Yummy. Those look amazing. Honestly, you know what? They turned out pretty darn good. Let's have a do a wipe down of the knife. They're very warm, so they need cool down time, but you know what? I'm going to leave them in the pan until they cool a bit because they're really hot. Let's have a taste if we can get a piece. I think we could get a brownie out of there. Maybe. It's not going to look very nice because it's still very, very hard. It's still somewhat. It's really just amazing. It's just all this chocolatey goodness. You know what? I need to hold this with something. It's like a Majestic brownie. It's like a pile of chocolatey goodness. the rest to cool. Look at that. It just looks so good. Let's have a try. It's very hot, so it'll firm up after it's cooled a bit. It's like one of those brownie volcanoes that you get at Dairy Queen. It's actually quite tantalizing. It's a bit hot. So we'll just, that's what I'd call it. I'd call it a Majestic brownie volcano. It's very yummy. It's very tantalizing. It's quite the effort. Look at that. And that's Cooking with Heather with a lovely Majestic brownie volcano. Have a lovely day. Bon appetit.